All right, let's just jump right in. We all know that scaling a business is the dream, right? But it almost always comes with this hidden cost, just sheer complexity. So today, we're going to explore a really powerful way of thinking that comes from the world of RevOps, designed to tackle this exact problem. It's called the architect's mindset, and it's all about building systems that don't just survive growth, but actually thrive because of it. So let me just ask you, straight up, is your company's growth actually creating chaos? You know that feeling, right? When things that used to be easy are suddenly tangled and slow, you feel like you're moving faster than ever, but you're also getting stuck in the mud. This is such a classic growing pain, and it's a huge red flag that your systems are not keeping up with your ambition. And this chaos, it isn't random. It actually has a name: fragmentation. See, when a company grows really fast without a blueprint for its internal systems, it almost inevitably starts to break apart into these disconnected, siloed pieces. It's a totally predictable problem, which, and this is the good news, means it also has a predictable solution. Let's make this real. Does any of this sound familiar? You buy that shiny new marketing tool, but surprise, it doesn't talk to your sales CRM. Or maybe your sales team is laser focused on closing deals at any cost, leaving customer success to clean up the mess with unhappy clients. Or, my favorite, you have mountains of data, but somehow no clear answers. These are not separate problems. They are all symptoms of a fragmented system. So who fixes this kind of mess? Well, this is where our hero enters the story, the RevOps architect. And look, this isn't just another job title. It's a completely different way of thinking. It's about moving past the day-to-day tasks of building and operating and starting to design the entire system with the long term in mind. Here's the core difference, and it's a big one. A builder or an operator, they're focused on the immediate problem, solving a support ticket, cleaning up a sales pipeline. And that work is absolutely crucial. But the architect, they're looking at the whole blueprint of the building. They're thinking about how a decision we make today is going to affect the business 2, 3, 5 years from now. Their goal isn't just to solve today's problem, but to design a system where that problem can't even happen again. So what is this mindset actually made of? Well, it really boils down to 3 core pillars of thinking. Let's break them down one by one. First, and maybe most importantly, an architect has to see the entire go-to-market system. I'm not just talking about the sales process or the marketing funnel, but how it all interconnects. They understand that a tiny change in lead scoring over in marketing is going to ripple through and affect sales quotas and maybe even customer support tickets down the line. It's all about seeing the whole forest, not just a few trees. But here's the thing. Seeing the big picture isn't enough. An architect also knows exactly when to zoom way, way in. They're not afraid to get their hands dirty and really understand the nitty-gritty mechanics of how a system actually works. They have to. Because if you don't understand the details, your grand design is just going to be a fantasy. And this is where the magic happens. The third pillar is connecting that high-level, boardroom strategy with the on-the-ground reality of system design. They are the translators. They take the company's vision, something like, we want to move up market, and turn it into a practical plan for the systems, the processes, and the data that are going to make that vision a reality. This quote right here really gets to the heart of it. This is the crucial shift in thinking. An architect doesn't start with a tactic, like, how do we automate this task? No. They start with the goal. They ask, what are we really trying to do here? And then, how do we design a system that can evolve with the business to get us there? It's a totally different starting point. Okay, so we get the mindset. But how do architects actually put it into practice? What do they do? Well, they operate using 4 core design principles that guide every single decision they make, making sure they build something that's designed to last. The first principle is clarity over control. It's so tempting to build a perfectly automated, super complex machine where everything just happens. But those systems are usually black boxes. And when they break, and they always break, nobody knows why. An architect prioritizes making the system transparent and easy for actual humans to understand, and more importantly, to adapt. Next up is minimum viable structure. This is all about finding that perfect sweet spot. You need just enough process to make sure your data is consistent and people know what they're supposed to do. But you can't have so much that you kill creativity or the ability to handle a unique situation. Think of it like guardrails on a highway, not a straitjacket. Third, we've got feedback-oriented design. A great system isn't static, it's a learning machine. So architects intentionally build feedback loops right into their designs. This just means creating the reports, the dashboards, and the processes that quickly tell you what's working and what's not, so the whole organization can learn and get better fast. And finally, we have what might be the hardest principle of all, strategic constraint. This is the discipline to say no. The business will always ask for more features, more fields, more complexity. An architect knows that every single addition adds a little bit of debt to the system. Their job is to protect the integrity of the whole thing by pushing back on requests that add complexity without adding real strategic value. So when you take all these pillars and these principles and you put them all together, you get something so much bigger than just, efficient operations. The real ultimate goal of the architect's mindset is to build something far more powerful and far more lasting. It's a shift away from just managing the day-to-day chaos to fundamentally improving the business's ability to think. It's moving beyond just ops and moving toward organizational intelligence. This right here, this is the ultimate prize. This is the ability for the entire organization to learn, to adapt, and to evolve through its systems. An intelligent organization doesn't just execute a static plan. Its very systems are designed to help it sense changes in the market and respond effectively, making the entire business smarter and smarter over time. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Take a hard look at your own company's systems and processes. Are they just helping you sustain where you are right now, patching leaks and fighting fires? Or are they intentionally designed to help your business evolve into whatever it needs to become tomorrow? Because that answer, that makes all the difference in the world.